All right, today we will be looking at literary vocabulary for World War I poetry. We will be reading Jessie Pope's War Girls and Siegfried Sassoon's Prelude, The Troops. First thing we have to remember is what a main point is. The main point is the most important or central thought of a paragraph or larger section of text which tells the reader what the text is about. So when we're looking for the main point, we often look for a thesis or a reoccurring topic or theme, and that we can kind of condense into our main point. We will be looking for the main points of both of the poems that we will be reading. Next, we need to know the difference between tone and mood. When most of us say tone when referring to a text, we all kind of confuse tone and mood. We use tone as kind of a catch-all term for that, but they are, in fact, different. Tone is writer-centered. Tone is the attitude a writer takes towards a subject or the reader. So a tone is going to be how the writer feels about something. Mood, however, is how the reader feels about the text. Mood is influenced by the setting or the overall atmosphere of the text. Mood influences the reader's feelings as they read. Here's some examples. Tone, or the author's attitude, could be amused, playful, angry, suspicious, sad, menacing, humorous, gloomy, so on and so forth. You can use a lot of these words to describe mood as well, but make sure when you're referring to the mood of a text, it's how you feel while you're reading it, not how the author feels about the subject they're writing about. So for mood, might be happy or lonely, maybe scary. When we hear something like it was a dark and stormy night, the mood might be scared or scary. Now we're going into figurative language. Figurative language is colorful language that often has multiple meanings. It is language you have to figure out. Sometimes the author says one thing, but means the other. First, we're going to look at simile. A simile is comparing two things using the words like or as. Here, I ran like the wind to get my bubbles. You aren't actually the wind, but you're running like the wind. Could be as playful as a kitten, or as quick as a bunny, or even the leaves fell like rain. Leaves aren't actually rain, but they fell like rain. Metaphor is comparing two unlike things, not using the words like or as. So it's all the other comparisons that don't have like or as. Her heart is as cold as iron. It's a metaphor. Her heart isn't actually iron, but it's cold as iron. Jenna's mouth is one huge metal factory. She has braces. It's not actually producing metal. It's just talking about the appearance. We have some others. Franklin has a heart of gold. That is, Franklin is a nice person. Mary's voice is music to my ears. Not actually music, but it sounds nice. He's a walking encyclopedia. He's not actually a book with two legs. He just knows a lot of things. Imagery. Imagery is visually descriptive language, especially in a literary work. So when you are reading a book and you have those pictures in your mind, that's because of imagery. That's because of the language that you're reading that allows you to create those pictures. There are different types of imagery. Auditory, which is what we hear, so music, noise, or silence. Visual, so that describes what we see, colors. Is the light bright or dim? What color is the grass that day? Tactile, what we touch or feel, so texture, movement, or temperature. Gustatory, what we taste, sour, bitter, sweet, salty. And olfactory, which describes what we smell, so may have some nice flowers or some bad smells. We also have personification, and that is giving a human characteristic to something that is not human. You can see the word person in there, so personification. One might be, the leaves danced their way through the lawn. As we've already discussed, leaves are just leaves. They don't have legs, they can't dance, but they may look like they're dancing because of how the wind blows them. That's giving them a personification by saying that they danced. Could say something like, the sun happily greeted everyone good morning. The sun can't talk, that would be weird, but we give it that human characteristic as it rises in the morning. Or, as a negative one, the sky turned dreary as the glum clouds enveloped it. The clouds are coming in and consuming the sky, so we're going to give them that human characteristic of being glum and down. That's pretty much what you will need to know to read these two poems, to be able to understand the main point of the poems and how the author wants you to feel about World War I.